All right, good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd. This is a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Here.
Richard Valley.
Here.
Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Robert Thayer.
Here. All 5 members are present. At this time, would all please rise for Pastor Tyler Jones from Konia Church for invocation. Thank you, Tyler.
Good morning. Bow your heads with me. Father, we just thank you for who you are. We thank you for your presence. And I just pray over the board and everyone in attendance, Lord, that you would use everything to strengthen them, to give them wisdom, Father, as they make decisions. And I just pray for a peace in this room as they navigate the things that are needed for our county, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. So today is somebody's birthday, so I'm going to ask Chief Leonard Baker to please lead us in the flag salute. We have a couple birthdays today, but we're going to start with him today. He didn't bring any donuts or anything.
Of the United States of America, and to every reality for standing, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Leonard, are you 39 today? Hey, Chief Baker, are you 39 today? 39 or 49? Either way, he's old. Ooh. Anyway, we'll move on. So we'll go now to unscheduled appearances. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board on items of interest within this board jurisdiction and which are not already on the agenda. The board will not answer questions impromptu, and concerns or complaints will be referred to the appropriate staff. For items which were on the agenda, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to address the board on each item as it's brought up for discussion. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes for each item. Do we have any written comments?
I do have written correspondence from Bobby Wartson. The board did receive copies electronically and hard copies. The first speaker card that I have is Miguel Alatorre Jr.
Morning, Miguel. How are you?
Good morning, Supervisors. I'm doing great. How about yourselves?
So before you start, just name and address, and then you have a clock on there, so you keep an eye on what's going on.
Of course, this will be quick. My name is Miguel Alatorre Jr. I'm a resident of Kettleman City and the executive director of the Unidos Network. And I came here today to really thank you guys for the recent decision you guys made on approving the funding on the preemptive design on the sidewalk, streets, curbs, and gutters for Kettleman City. We represent, I represent a couple different groups within Kettleman City, and I know that we're really thankful that you guys saw that we needed an investment and you guys acted upon it. So I just wanted to thank every single one of you guys for that decision that you guys made and really appreciate it on behalf of our residents. We really need this type of support, and it's really amazing to see people like Richard Vaya really fighting for us. So thank you all individually. Really appreciate it from a Kettleman City resident. Thank you.
Hey, Miguel, hang on a second. So there's one more thing that we haven't announced yet, but you will be getting fiber to every home in Kettleman City.
Wow, you're shocking me. Thank you guys so much.
AT&T, correct? AT&T will be bringing fiber to Kettleman City. It has to be done by 2026. So we'll have hard fiber to every single home in Kettleman City and all the businesses in Kettleman City.
Wow, thank you very much.
We really try to tie it into the curb and gutter sidewalk so we don't have to tear it up twice.
And Miguel, that was Super Boone who was bringing that to our attention too on that for Kettleman.
Thank you, Supervisor Verboon.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
That's all the speaker cards that I have, and it doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Sweet. It's good. Anybody in the audience today? Ms. Tone, would you like to make a comment? We have one in the audience coming forward. Please state your name and address for the record and what to clock on the wall.
Good morning, everyone. How are you, Chair and Supervisors? Nice to see you. My name is Aubrey Tone, and I'm the lead of External Affairs for AT&T for the Central Valley. You need my address?
No, we're good.
Okay. So on behalf of AT&T, I'm here today to respectfully request Kings County to remove its opposition in our Assembly Bill 470. Since adopting an opposition, position from the last time I was here and saw all of you, AB 470 has been significantly amended, reflecting extensive input from county representatives, lawmakers, community partners, and others. As a result, the Rural County Representatives of California, RCRC, California State Association of Counties, CSAC, and the Urban Counties of California, UCC, removed their opposition and is neutral. On July 15th, the bill passed out of the Senate Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Communications and will be heard next in the Senate Committee on Appropriations when the legislature reconvenes in August. So key amendments coming out on the Senate, EU and C include allowing the California Public Utilities Commission, the CPUC, to consider other telephone, broadband, and wireless service data as they develop maps to guide any transition, and additional protections for Lifeline customers, and protections to support union work and fair wages through the transition to modern communications network. AB 470 represents collaborative and comprehensive policy making. The bill is a responsible, balanced approach to modernizing the state's communications infrastructure while protecting Californians who rely on copper landline service. Extensive conversations with organizations representing rural local governments and leaders from those communities have directly helped shape the bill as it stands today. Given these developments, I urge the county to reconsider its position and adopt a revised letter of either neutral stance or support. Thank you for your consideration. It's nice seeing you all again today.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Under 2 minutes too. Barely. Do we have anybody else in the audience that would like to speak today? Okay, Mr. Valley, you want to do anything for your birthday today? You okay? You partied all weekend. Thank you for showing up. How's that?
Yes.
We'll continue on. Thanks. Okay, so we'll go now to regular report out of closed session from regular meeting July 1st, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There's nothing to report from the closed session for the July 1, 2025 meeting.
Okay, next item is B, approval of the minutes from regular meeting July 1st, 2025. Moved by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Neves. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson. Robert Thayer.
Yes.
5 in favor. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are listed, are routine and will be enacted by one motion for a board member. If a board member has a question or request or an additional information or wishes to comment on an item, the vote should be taken and not taken until the question has been addressed or comments have been made. And the public has an opportunity to comment on a consent calendar item. What's your pleasure?
Move is presented, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Do we have any questions from the audience? Any comments? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson. Robert Thayer.
Yes.
All right, very good. And we're going to go here to regular calendar item. Item passes. We'll go to regular agenda, and we have Administrator Carrie Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Kyria Martinez, CAO. Before you this morning is a quarterly report of the facility activities at Kettleman Hills Hazardous Waste Facility. In December of 2009, the board adopted a resolution which authorized the issuing of a conditional use permit for Chemical Waste Management Incorporated to operate the Kettleman Hills Hazardous Waste Facility. As conditions of part of this approval, the general manager of Kettleman City Hills facility shall give quarterly reports to the Board of Supervisors in person. So at this time, I pass it over to Bob Henry. Thank you, Mr. Bob Henry.
Good morning. Thank you. Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Bob Henry, Senior District Manager for the facility. Last quarterly report of activities was on April 8th. Report period covers through the 8th through July 21st. April 22nd, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District was at KHF. Annual facility inspection, no violations, no issues were identified during the inspection. April 22nd, DTSC Class 1 Star permit modification request. So we did put one of those in. It updated our groundwater and leachate sampling analysis method for VOCs from EPA method 8260B to EPA method 8260D. And it moved the constituent of concern event from fourth quarter 2025 to third quarter 2025. We did this based on inclement weather and things like that for holding times of some of the constituents as we ship it back to our laboratory in Denver. April 24th, Kings County Grand Jury at KHF. KHF provided the grand jury with an overview and tour of the facility. April 29th, annual community meeting in Kettleman City. Meeting was at the grade school. KHF presented groundwater monitoring summary year over year and also air monitoring summary year over year. That we also put that in a flyer and went to all the residents of our PO box holders in Kettleman City. Contingency plan summary, we ran over that, and placards review. Also present at the meeting, Kings County Office of Emergency Services, and they presented family preparedness planning. April 30th, Kings County Environmental Health Services at KHF, monthly unannounced facility inspection. Inspection included landfill unit B17, B18, and B19, and a records review. No violations, no area of concern were identified during the inspection. So that's your county environmental health services at the facility. May 1st, DTSC at KHF, unannounced focus facility inspection of our surface impoundments. DTSC will come out usually sometime in the first quarter. They'll do a comprehensive site-wide inspection of the facility, take several days. Then we'll come out and do focused inspections the next 2 to 3 quarters of the year. This particular one was on our surface impoundments, the operation and maintenance of those, and the waste we accept into them. No violations, no issues were identified during the inspection. May 9th, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. Notice of deviation submitted for the MSW flare. Okay. Power outage caused data recorder to malfunction and stop recording for approximately 38 hours over the weekend. What we had was a spike in power, and it fried both our primary and our backup. So once we were aware of it, we took corrective measures. We notified the air district of that. No real difference in air monitoring occurred during that time. May 15th, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. This is our 5-year permit renewal, which was submitted in December of 2021. Permit expired in August of 22. Draft permit was issued April 14th of 25. Comments were submitted on May 15th of 25 with the final permit to be issued after response to comments are completed by the Air District. May 21, Kings Waste and Recycling Authority at KHF. If he looks up. KHF provided core board members Mark Caris, City of Hanford, and Robert Thayer from the Kings County Board of Supervisors with an overview and tour of the facility. April 22nd, Kings County Environmental Health Services back out at KHF. No violations, no area of concerns identified during their inspection. May 27th, Kings Waste and Recycling Authority at KHF. This was KHF provided core executive director Parveen Sandhu with an overview and tour of the facility. So got 3 out of the 5. So 3 out of the 6, excuse me. June 3rd, U.S. EPA headquarters and U.S. EPA Region 9 at KHF. Tosca facility inspection. This was for our PCB building and landfill unit B18. So DTSC has authorization over RCRA and non-RCRA hazardous waste or California hazardous waste. EPA retained authorization over TSCA, Toxic Substances Control Act, or your PCBs. During their inspection, wipe samples were taken from the floor within the PCB building. No violations, no issues were identified during the inspection. Of those, we took splits on the wipe samples. Our wipe samples have came back with having passing results. So we don't expect anything different from EPA. June 4th, Central Valley Regional Water Quality Control Board at KHF, semi-annual facility inspection. No violations, no issues were identified during the inspection. June 5, US EPA Class 1 permit star permit author modification request. So I have to ask, DTSC has certain things within their permit. We have about 50 chapters within our permit, one of those being groundwater monitoring. Okay. That would be for RCRA, non-RCRA. For TSCA, EPA has authority, as I just mentioned, and they will pull in permits that we have from, let's say, the water board, where DTSC will pull in a permit, the EPA will pull in a permit as well. When they did that, I have to ask for a permit modification from DTSC when we changed the method from 8260 to B to 8260D. I had to do the same thing, or we had to do the same thing for US EPA. So this is where we asked to ask it from two different authorities. Here's the fundamental problem with the permits that we have and the way the government is presently set up is we have permits that reference WD, let's say water board with waste discharge requirements. We have to follow a certain waste discharge requirement until it's modified. Okay. In 2014, I had that permit with our WDR modified to include B18 phase 3. Okay. So it changed. DTSC has not modified my permit. So I'm working off of an old WDR that was approved by DTSC, a new WDR that was approved by the water board. So I'm running off of two different permits right now where some wells are designated differently.
Okay.
So the problem is the timing of when you get a new permit, some of the old stuff doesn't go along with that.
Got it. Thank you.
So you're doing double duty.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called redundancy.
Okay.
Yeah. They're looking for a problem.
June 12th, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District 5-year permit renewal issued. June 23rd, Kings County Environmental Health Services back out at the facility. No violations, no area of concern were identified. Future activities, October 16th, KHF will be at the 2025 State of the County event where we'll be a silver sponsor. And lastly, a permit update. We do have our DTSC Part B permit renewal that's ongoing. DTSC to respond to public comments and make a final permit decision. They said they would not do that any earlier than February of next year. So that would be the earliest that we would get it. Appeals can be within 30 days of the final permit decision. That can be on the part of a plaintiff, or it could be on our part as well. Appeal decisions will be with DTSC Board of Environmental Safety. Instead of going back to the department, it will go to the newly established board, or fairly newly established board. Okay. Question?
Very good. Any question or comments for Mr. Henry? Nope. I'll look for a motion.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Thayer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon, Rusty Robinson, Robert Thayer.
Yes.
5 in favor. Thank you. I'll see you in the next quarter.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks again for the tour.
All right, we'll move on now to item B, Community Development Agency, and we have Yesenia. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Okay, Yesenia Carupa, planner with the Community Development Agency, here to present Kings County Development Code text change number 668.19, which was first introduced to your board at a public hearing on July 1st, 2025. The Community Development Agency received a private industry interest to allow for outdoor or off-site advertising structures in the neighborhood commercial or CN zone district adjacent to a state highway, subject to the approval of a site plan review zoning permit. Currently, the Kings County Community Development Code does not allow for the development of outdoor or off-site advertising structures in the CN zone district. Also included is an amendment request to require that the lighting of outdoor or off-site advertising structures be limited or arranged to reflect light away from adjacent properties, passing vehicles, and pedestrians. And then a third request to increase the maximum aggregate area for outdoor or off-site advertising structures from 240 square feet to 450 square feet. The approval of this development code amendment would amend Article 6, Section 603, Table 6-1 of the Kings County Development Code to allow for outdoor or off-site advertising structures in the neighborhood commercial or CN zone district through a non-discretionary site plan review zoning permit. Article 11, Section 1104.c would be amended to require that the lighting of outdoor or off-site advertising structures be limited or arranged to reflect light away from adjacent properties, passing vehicles, and pedestrians. And finally, Article 11, Section 1104E would also be amended to increase the maximum aggregate area for outdoor or off-site advertising structures from 240 square feet to 450 square feet. The proposed changes will remain consistent with the goals and objectives of the general plan. Specifically, Section 3A3 on page LU15 of the land use element in the 2035 Kings County General Plan states that the neighborhood commercial designation provides for the provision of retail and personal service facilities. These facilities satisfy the convenience goods needs of the consumer relatively close to his or her place of residence. This designation is primarily intended to serve as the central trading district of the county's large unincorporated communities. Additionally, the corresponding zone districts include the Neighborhood Commercial Zone District, which provides this designation with numerous permitted and conditional uses of a neighborhood commercial service and highway commercial nature to properly accommodate demands for commercial space convenient to the population this designation will serve. The approval of Development Code Text Change number 668.19 is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act review pursuant to Section 15061B3 of the CEQA guidelines. This section states that a project is exempt from CEQA if the activity is covered by the general rule that CEQA applies only to projects which have the potential for causing a significant effect on the environment. Where it can be seen with certainty that there's no possibility that the activity in question may have a significant effect on the environment, the activity is not subject to CEQA. The changes to the Development Code are technical changes concerning general policy for the implementation of the zoning regulations, and there's no possibility that these changes will have a significant effect on the environment by the act of adopting the Development Code text change. In addition, none of the special circumstances listed in Section 15300.2 of the CEQA guidelines apply to the act of adopting a Development Code text change. The Kings County Planning Commission received a staff report and conducted a public meeting on June 2nd, 2025. The Planning Commission voted and adopted Resolution number 25-03, recommending that the board adopt Development Code text change number 668.19. If approved, this Development Code text change would take effect 30 days following adoption. Staff recommendations are as follows. Number 1, find that Development Code text change number 668.19 is exempt from CEQA review pursuant to CEQA guidelines sections 15061 and that section 15300.2 does not apply. Number 2, find that Development Code text change number 668.19 is consistent with the policies of the 2035 Kings County General Plan. And number 3, adopt and waive the second reading of ordinance number 668-1-25, approving Development Code text change number 668.19. That concludes my presentation, unless there's any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments from the board? Motion approved. By Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Neves. Any questions or comments from the audience? Anything written or anything? Nothing? We're good. Okay, bring it back to the board for direction. Oh, Madam Clerk, could call roll.
Joe Neves,
Yes.
Richard Valley, Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Robert Thayer.
Yes.
Okay, item passes. Thank you very much. We'll go on now to item number C, Fire Department. And we have Matt Sanfilippo. Morning, Matt.
Good morning. Good morning, Board of Supervisors. Matt Sanfilippo, Kings County Fire Department. The reason for me standing for 90 days is for you guys to adopt the resolution to ratify the financial transaction with Dennis Costin, Lionel Crowther, Behind the Shield LLC, Charles Riddell, and Pete Van Dorp for the Foundation of Leadership Seminar, retroactively effective from March 13th, 2025 through March 14th, 2025 and April 1st, 2025. The Kings County Fire Department hosted a Foundations of Leadership seminar in March of 2025 at the Tachi Palace Casino Resort in Lemoore. The seminar was led by experts in the fire service industry. The Foundation of Leadership seminar provided an opportunity for fire personnel throughout the area to learn progressive leadership techniques in the changing industry. The seminar communicated hard-learned leadership lessons that applied to major events such as the Boston Marathon, but also concepts applied to professional leadership outside of the emergency arena. The seminar was a 2-day training course, which was led by experts in the fire service pertaining to leadership and discipline. Members who participated in the seminar include Kings County Fire Department personnel, Hanford Fire Department, Kings County Child Support, Dinuba Fire Department, Lemoore NAS Fire Department, Orange Cove Fire Department, Porterville Fire Department, Tulare County Fire Department, Corcoran State Prison Fire Department, Tulare City Fire Department, Ventura Fire Department, Winnipeg Fire Department, and was also attended by CAO Carrie Martinez and Supervisor Joe Neves. The resolutions have been reviewed and approved by County Council as to form. There is no fiscal impact to the general fund. The total amount of $12,628 was funded from the Fire Instructional Service Agreement. And I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions or comments? I was there too.
Were you?
Briefly, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You guys must have been serving free lunch or something.
Well, no, Carrie bought me lunch if I went.
Oh, okay.
I had to take Carrie with me. Any Any questions or comments from the board? No motion? So moved by Supervisor Neves. Second by Supervisor Robinson. Any questions from the audience? Okay, this was a good event. So,
Mr. Chair, the only thing I would think that small amount, the 12,000, and I don't want to catch CAO off guard, but maybe the next time they do it, we could look at it and see if we could fund half of that. The fee to do something good like this, because at the end of the day, it's an investment, and the county obviously goes without saying. But looking at that, that's not a lot of money, and maybe that's something we'll take a look at next time.
Super, I appreciate the support.
Maybe.
I really do.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Neves.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
All right.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Robert Thayer.
Yes.
I'm in favor. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Matt. We'll go on now to item D, information technology, and we have Dave Schubert. Morning, Dave.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dave Schubert, IT Manager. I have 2 items for your consideration today. The first item is Megabyte, the assessor's property management system. And the second item is Carpel, which is the case management system for the DA. They're a little retroactive because of the revisions in contract going back and forth. That seems to be an issue lately. County Council's done a really good job is holding those companies accountable with their wording. So it's a lot of back and forth.
Okay, very good. Any questions or comments?
Do we need to take these separate, or can we take them up?
You can, they're 2 different items. And I think he's only given the report on the one.
The first one was Megabyte, the property management system. The second one was Carpel.
Okay.
They're both yearly maintenance agreements we do.
My recommendation would be, since they're listed as separate items, so that the minutes can be accurate, that you approve them separately.
Take the Megabyte first one.
Motion by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Thayer. Madam Clerk, please call roll. Oh, wait, any questions from the audience? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Joe Neves.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
All right.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Robert Thayer.
Yes.
Item passes. Thank you. Next item is same deal for Carpel Solutions.
So moved.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Thayer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Neves.
Questions from the audience?
Oops.
Nothing?
Apologize. Joe Neves.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
All right.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Robert Thayer.
Yes.
Item passes. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go now to Probation Department. Senator Baker. Morning, Chief.
Morning. Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Leonard Baker, Probation. Thank you for this opportunity to speak today in recognition of Probation Services Week, which is July 20 through the 26th. This is a time for us to recognize and honor the dedicated and committed professionals of the Kings County Probation Department, both in operations and institutions, and their tireless and unwavering services to our community to build safer communities, supporting rehabilitation and offering hope to those striving for opportunities. Probation plays a critical role and vital role in our justice system, working every day to ensure that accountability and rehabilitation go hand in hand. Probation is not a job, but instead it's a calling. It demands a unique blend of accountability, empathy, resilience, and professionalism. Our probation officers, institutional staff, and administrative staff, all of which support the mission of community supervision and are often the quiet force behind successful reintegration, reduced recidivism, and restored lives. Our staff walk alongside individuals during some of the most difficult times of their lives. As agents of change, our staff encourage growth, hold people accountable, and believe in change even when it's hard to see. Whether our staff are supervising or adults at reentering society, working with at-risk youth, conducting home and office visits, or connecting individuals to mental health, housing, or treatment resources, our probation professionals are helping people find a way forward. Our staff's work is often unseen, but never insignificant, and its impact is felt every day in the lives they help turn around. Everyone should recognize that probation work is demanding, both emotionally and physically. Yet probation staff rise to the challenge and with professionalism and heart, balancing accountability with compassion and structure with support. Probation staff success is our county's success. Every life redirected, every youth given a second chance, every adult who returns to the workforce or school because probation staff's persistence, those are wins not just for one person, but for us as a community as a whole. To all the probation staff, I want to say loud and clear, I see you, I value you, and from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. Your tireless efforts are essential to a fair, functioning, and forward-thinking justice system. You help individuals make real, lasting change, and in doing so, you strengthen the fabric of our entire community. My commitment to all staff is to continue supporting and encouraging you, investing in relevant training, and ensuring your work is valued and visible, not just this week, but every day of the year. During this week, our Kings County Probation Officers Association, along with our peer support team, will be hosting different types of snacks, foods, and desserts in celebration to all of our staff. This demonstrates the close-knit family environment of the department, showing generosity and solidarity. On behalf of the staff of the Probation Department, and with great pride, I respectfully ask the board to adopt a resolution designating July 20 to July 26, 2025 as Probation Services Week. Together, let's continue supporting a forward-thinking justice system that believes in accountability and opportunity, all the while offering hope and productive futures for all our clients. Thank you.
Very good. Any questions for Chief Baker? Everybody got their probation officer on speed dial? We good?
Chairman, comments?
Comment.
Yeah. I also want to echo everything you say regarding your officers here in Kings County, and on top of everything else that they have to go through after their careers. It's not uncommon for them to suffer with issues like PTSD and other maybe some of the physical injuries involved with their duties. What they shouldn't have to worry about is their safety at work. And I'm glad the timing of this is on agenda, because I was going to bring this up during board member reports. We haven't had a meeting in 2 weeks, but in the last 2 weeks, we've had a California probation officer who was set on fire. And then we had a California parole agent about 4 days ago who was shot and killed in their office. And so what I was prepared to sit down and bring up to the board and meet with our CAO about is I want to make sure, sir, that you two and any pertinent staff with the approval, support of the board, get together and make sure that that office is fortified, and that if it isn't fortified, that a scope of work with a budget estimate would be put together to fortify and improve the safety of the area for your probation officers, for your staff immediately. Something that the board can look at and take action on, because that's real important. I mean, this just happened in Stockton up the road, and we're not going to have that happen here to any of our officers here in the County of Kings. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate those thoughts and concerns.
Very good. Any other comments from the public? This is a resolution.
So moved, Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Thayer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson. Robert Thayer.
Item passes. So, Chief, get your probation officer down here in the well. We'll take a picture.
Yeah, you know. Never had them. Good.
You were cutting off like right there.
All right, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna take this. Baker, you know, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's looking good.
What's that ankle monitor for? Yeah.
I think that's a lot of reason. All right.
Now do you have everybody? Yeah.
I look good. I gotta work it.
Thank you for your work.
Right. Okay, very good. So the next item we have is a public hearing, and it's at 10 o'clock. So what we'll do now, we'll fast forward. We'll go to board member announcements and reports. And then if that doesn't take long enough, we'll take a little break till 10 o'clock. So we'll start with Supervisor Ness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Finished up the Babe Ruth baseball tournament. We haven't met in 3 weeks, so got that wrapped up all of the fireworks sales, the Lemoore seniors. Announced the Little League sectional tournament held in Lemoore from the 9th to the 12th. Had OES training on the 16th. Want to thank everyone for attending that tabletop. And the exercise was an earthquake, and that was the same day Alaska had that earthquake and tsunami. So it's kind of put together. Calviva Finance and Health Authority had a meeting on the 17th. Enrollment continues to stay on track with 433,000 sold, down from 335, but Kaiser's entered the market as well as Anthem Blue Cross, and so we continue to keep about a 60% market share. South Fork Kings had a meeting on the 17th as well in Lemoore, an overview of operations, and state continues to refuse to communicate and move forward on the plan development. And then the Kings County Homeless meeting was held on the 21st, and they continue to work on the annual report and review of behavioral health Prop 1 impacts and updates on housing. So with that, thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Thayer.
Yeah, thank you. I've been a couple weeks since we met here on Thursday, July 3rd. I attended virtually the CSAC state budget overview, or at least their version of what California's budget will be leading us into this next year. And then obviously enjoyed a nice break over the 4th of July holiday weekend with some family and friends. July 10th, I attended the trial readiness hearing on behalf of victim Levi Anderson. I've spoken about him before. He was abused by a caretaker here in Hanford. That case is just navigating slowly throughout the court. And then on Friday, July 11th, attended the Jobs First S2J2 update meeting. Really not much to report out other than there's some issues with some maps apparently. And then last Monday, the 14th, drove out to West Side City of Avenel that hosted our KT AAA meeting out in Avenel. It's good to be back out on the west side when the sun is up, and to have that committee and that group travel out there. I will say I'm looking forward to the Avenel Cutoff road repair getting fixed, because Nevada Avenue is not a comfortable road to drive on.
Yeah, that was you seen the
that this is improved. We anyway,
it was pretty rough.
I'll digress. And then last Wednesday attended the Kings Community Action Organization Board of Directors meeting. And then after that, well, actually during that, I was traveling to Sacramento, where I graduated from the new Supervisor Institute that took place in Sacramento. Again, got great pool of individuals up there. Yeah, they even have a diploma. And then obviously yesterday, along with my colleagues up here, attended the Board of Equalization meeting that was here yesterday morning. So that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Supervisor Valley.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks for bringing it up earlier. I did just want to, I can't pass up on a milestone birthday, which is the 55th birthday of my life, and that I'm blessed with it. And I want to say thank you to anyone within earshot who's helped me, supported me, guided me, given me a piece of advice through good and bad times along the journey. And I was 38 years old when I first sat here. I always took pride in being the youngest county supervisor until Supervisor Rusty Robinson got seated, and he advised me that he was younger than me. And so now, you know.
For the record, you look younger.
Well, I put on the record that it's no secret this is a black hair dye, or I'd be looking just like him. My family, we die with a full head of hair, but we go gray quick. And so, yeah, I only dyed it for my birthday event the other day. But yeah, it's a journey. And so I'm going to take a couple of days, do some self-reflecting. And I was blessed over the weekend. We had a birthday party at Lake Bottom on Sunday. And there's a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while that attended and made it a special day. The day before, my son, Richard Valley, he held a skate event at the Corcoran Rack, the old YMCA. It was his second annual day in the park. And, you know, I said, if you don't know, my son's a pro skater. That's what he does. And so he brought some professional skaters again to Corcoran. They gave away about 70 free skateboards. They had a skate contest, and the winner walked away with $1,000 cash prize. More importantly, it was a family event. No violence, no shenanigans. There's a lot of kids out there and a lot of adults who still skateboard, men and women. And so I went out there to support him. That was probably Saturday about 7 o'clock, and we're out there and we're running around. And I take a look up, and I saw my friend who I served with in the Marine Corps. His name's Randall Clemens, and him and his wife Kimberly. They showed up. They surprised me. They flew in from Detroit, Michigan, and so when they walked up to my son's event, it took me a minute to. When I looked over, and I was like, "What the heck is he doing here?" But they worked with my wife Nicole, and she helped them with lodging and got everything set up. And then my gunnery sergeant that I served with in the Corps, he lives in San Diego. Him and his wife came up too. So kind of had like a little bit of "this is your life," you know, at the party, just seeing different pockets of people and different times. So it was special. And so just look forward to hopefully continuing to be blessed and moving on in a positive note. But I thank all of you guys. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve with you. And along with the Marine Corps, this is the proudest time of my life, too, with you guys. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Supervisor Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy belated birthday, Supervisor Valley. I probably need a dye job, too. July 1st, I served as a moderator for Armona Community Service District. and Armona School District for kids, basically for kids to gain a little bit more access to the Armona Park. And then since then, I've been on vacation with my family. So they say a sign of a good vacation is when you're ready to come home. And I think I reached that point about a week ago. So happy to be back. And then yesterday I served with supervisors for the State Board of Equalization meeting to discuss the annual rent roll with the assessor. So that's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, very good. I went to the WIC 50th birthday party here several weeks ago with our staff. Also went to Griswold Cobb LaSalle, their 80th anniversary party, presented them with a proclamation, had a little story to tell. My wife had worked there, and I just talked about, how good it is to have that in the community, and Supervisor Robinson was there as well. I forgot to introduce Supervisor Robinson, but my apologies. Also traveled to NACO. I'm on the Ag Committee, and I had co-sponsored a bill, which was sponsored by a fellow board member from Colorado, to have language in a farm bill for cheap and affordable fertilizers. And I added language in there to have cheap and affordable water to the West Side growers in California, as long as they choose not to sell the water and grow a crop with it, because that supports our local economy and our local government. So we sat through negotiations all day on Friday and went over all the bills. Not all bills passed. The one I sponsored did pass. And then it went through to Monday, which we have a big forum by states, and our bill passed. And so it on to the Senate and the House. So hopefully they can improve that language. If they don't, we can start again next year with the same thing, maybe improve some language. We don't go to a lot of details. We just make sure we have the presence of the language is in there, so we can get it to stick to the actual farm bill. So there hasn't been a farm bill since 2018. So if we can get this done, that'd be a great thing for Kings County and home and here today. So that's all I got. Carrie Martinez, we got Theo, you've got
Board correspondence.
board correspondence.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So for staff updates and or reports, I just have one staff update. This is Mr. Powers' first board meeting. So I just wanted to introduce him. We already introduced him when we took the agenda item, but Michael Powers, Assistant CAO, is here with us today. And so he started, and this is his first board meeting.
You want him to stand up?
Sure.
Welcome.
Good morning.
He's only been here a week and a half, and so when he gets paid, if he comes back, he's a full-time employee at that time.
So for board correspondence, the board received the June 2025 Kings County Investment Pool Transaction Activity Report from the Director of Finance. The board also received the Proposition 65 Hazardous Materials Release Report dated July 10th regarding an incident that occurred on Reading Avenue in Kettleman City. The board received correspondence from the Tri-County Water Authority dated July 7th regarding the notice of intent to adopt an amended groundwater sustainability plan for the Tule Subbasin. The board received correspondence from Kings County Commission on Aging dated July 7th regarding their gratitude to the Kings County Public Works Department and Director Jim Henderson for their support during the recent elder abuse awareness event. For upcoming events, the Kings County Library will wrap up its 2025 summer reading program this week with the Winston the Magician event that will take place today, Tuesday, July 22nd at the Kettleman City branch at 2:30. The event will continue tomorrow at the Lemoore branch at 11 a.m. and at 2:30 p.m. at the Stratford branch. The event will wrap up on Thursday at 10 a.m. at the Hanford branch and 1 p.m. at the Armona branch. Kings County Behavioral Health will host its Veteran Support Group tonight, Tuesday, July 22nd from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Veterans Memorial Hall in Hanford. Kings County Child Support Services will host its second annual Summer Kids Day on Thursday, August 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. located in downtown at the Fast Plaza. For upcoming agenda items, the following agenda items are for July 29th. Administration has one item on a claims for damages. Behavioral Health has an item regarding an advanced step higher. CDA has an item to establish the Kings County General Plan Advisory Committee. District Attorney has one item on a participation in the Victim Witness Assistance Grant Program. Fire has an item on a donation of an Engine 24 to the College of Sequoias Fire Academy. Health has one item on a memorandum of understanding with the Kings United Way for Smart Referral Network implementation. And Probation has one item on a second amendment to an agreement with the Kings County Superior Court. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you very much. One thing I forgot to report on that happened yesterday, I got a call from Congressman Fong, and our county had I guess you call it a bill, where we asked for money for our EOS fire service station and our new fire headquarters. And appropriations sent it through the House yesterday, and it passed. So one more step to the Senate, and we'll have $3 million towards our new fire headquarters and our EOS facility. So looking forward to that. Chief Chamberlain got the call from our congressman at the same time. So that's really cool to have that happen. And hopefully this time next year, we'll be doing the groundbreaking or ribbon cutting or something. So very good. Thank you. We'll take a 10-minute break and come back here at 10 o'clock. And we have 3 study sessions at that point. Oh, 3 public hearings. I'm sorry. Okay, we're back live again. We're going to start a public hearing in a second. I do want to add one more thing on what we did, board member comments. I was invited to meet the Consulate General of Japan on Thursday, as I'm chairman of the Amtrak. So that was really cool to visit with him for about 3 hours, and then I had a board meeting on Friday morning for Amtrak San Joaquin's, which we'll have another unveiling coming up here pretty soon with a change of name from Amtrak San Joaquin's to the Gold Runner. So kind of exciting. Okay, at this time, we'll go to public hearing. Item 6A, administration. We have Giselle. Good morning, Giselle. Giselle.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Giselle Coit, Administrative Analyst, Kings County Administration. Before you this morning is the public hearing as required by California Streets and Highways Code, Section 2006, to consider the appointment of the county's road commissioner. This is a mandated step before any formal appointment can be made, and proper notice of this hearing was published on July 1st, 2025, in accordance with the requirement that notice be given at least 14 days, but no more than 30 days prior to the hearing. Under state law, each county must appoint a single road commissioner who is a registered civil engineer. This appointment is necessary not only to provide technical oversight for county road operations, but also to ensure the county remains eligible to receive funding from the highway users tax account. The law also specifies that no one person can be appointed without first holding a public hearing to evaluate their qualifications. The candidate before the board today is Chief Engineer Mitchell Cabrera, who currently serves in the Public Works Department. Mr. Cabrera is a licensed civil engineer with extensive experience in road planning, maintenance, and project delivery. On June 3rd, 2025, Mr. Cabrera was appointed as acting county road commissioner to maintain compliance with the state requirement and ensure uninterrupted funding from the highway users tax account while the formal appointment process was underway. There's no fiscal impact associated with this action. Today's item is a procedural and legal requirement to formally appoint Mr. Cabrera, who's already performing the duties of the role in an acting capacity. At this time, we respectfully ask your board to A, conduct a public hearing to consider the qualifications of Chief Engineer Mitchell Cabrera to serve as the County Road Commissioner, and B, appoint Chief Engineer Mitchell Cabrera as the County Road Commissioner. I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Giselle? Mitchell, you got any reservations? You good? Okay, at this time, we'll go to public hearing, open up for public hearing. And do we have any written correspondence?
I've received no written correspondence. I have no speaker cards, and it doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Okay, and do we have anybody in the audience that has any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for direction.
Who was presented, Mr.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Neves,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson, Robert Thayer.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. Mitchell, you're it.
He didn't even bring up the Avenel cutoff. Man.
Oh, okay. Next item, we have regular calendar continued, and we have human resources, Carolyn Leaks, and we have some changes to this item.
Yes, we do have an amendment to this. I apologize. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board, Carolyn Lease, Human Resource Director. With the approval of the appointment of Mitchell Cabrera to the Road Commissioner, I'm here today regarding the revised job specification of Chief Engineer and the salary for that position as amended. The Chief Engineer classification was revised to include the duties of the Road Commissioner and to include that the position will assist the Director of Public Works with the personnel and oversight of the department. With additional duties, it is recommended that the position receive approximately a 10% salary adjustment. The fiscal impact for the salary adjustment for the civil engineer is approximately $21,584 annually and approximately $20,754 for the remainder of the current fiscal year, 25-26. We ask that the board approve the revised job specification for chief engineer, which includes the salary adjustment, which is where the amendment is. We had put it 299 range, 299.5. It should be 300.5. The reason for this error is that on July 7th, the management received a 1% increase, and that wasn't taken into account for this. So it should be 10 ranges to approximately 10%. He's currently at range 290.5, so he should be at 300.5, which is a salary of $11,958 to $14,593 monthly. And this would be effective July 21st, 2025, which is pay period 16 of 25. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Thank you, Carolyn. Any questions or comments? Have a motion? A motion by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Thayer. Do we have any questions from the audience? Comments? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley, Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson, Robert Thayer.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move on now to the
Congratulations,
next
Mitchell.
next item. Congratulations, Mitchell. Yeah, we don't cut off. Talk about it.
Wait till September.
Oh, when it rains.
It'll be fine.
Okay. All right, we'll go on now to item 7, which is public hearing at Community Development Agency. And we have Noel. Good morning, Noel.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairman and Supervisors. My name is Noelle Tomlinson. I'm a planner with the Community Development Agency. Before you today is a Williamson Act land conservation contract modification in relation to in lieu parcel map number 2503. IPM 2503 will adjust the boundaries between 4 existing parcels and then divide one of the resulting parcels into 2 parcels, actions that will be accomplished when a parcel map records. The boundary adjustment is between 2 parcels under a Williamson Act contract and 2 parcels that are not. Therefore, a condition of approval for IPM 2503 is a contract modification by partially rescinding contract numbers 117 and 1295 and simultaneously entering into new contract number 2102 with board approval. The current contract is for 105.52 acres and the new contract is for the same amount. The subject property will remain in agricultural use. Division 1 of the Kings County Advisory Agency approved this land division on April 29, 2025, subject to the modification of the Williamson Act contract. Staff's recommendation is conduct a public hearing on the partial rescission of and simultaneously entering into a land conservation contract in relation to IPM 2503. Find that the rescission and creation of the land conservation contract is categorically exempt from environmental review under CEQA guidelines section 15317 and none of the circumstances in section 15300.2 apply. Adopt a resolution to partially rescind contract number 117 and number 1295 and simultaneously enter into new land conservation contract number 2102. And that concludes my presentation unless you have questions for me.
Thank you, Noel.
You're
Any
welcome.
questions for Noel? Okay, if there's any question, well, at this time, we're going to go ahead and open a public hearing up. Do we have any written?
I have no written correspondence, no speaker cards, and no one online has their hand raised.
Anybody in the audience? Seeing nobody, we'll close public hearing, bring it back to the board.
Move is online, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Thayer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon. Rusty Robinson. Robert Thayer.
Yes.
5 in favor. Thank you, Noel. We'll go on now to the third public hearing, which is the Community Development Agency, and we have Yesenia. Morning.
Good morning again. Yesenia Karufa, planner with the Community Development Agency, here to present the final Community Development Block Grant or CDBG performance report for the 2022 Kettleman City Curb Gutter Sidewalk Grant. Upon completion of a CDBG grant, a public hearing is required to notify the public about accomplishments funded by the grant and allow for public comment. In October 2023, the County of Kings received a CDBG award in the amount of $650,000 to be used for the improvements to the curb, gutter, and sidewalk along General Petroleum Avenue from 1st Street to 50 feet west of 5th Street in Kettleman City. The project was granted a performance period from October 1st, 2023 to October 1st, 2026. Construction was completed on October 18th, 2024, and a notice of completion, document number 2418129, was recorded by the Public Works Department on December 4th, 2024. Of the $650,000 received, the county was able to expend $575,077.77. The remaining unspent grant funds of $74,922.23 will be disencumbered by the state. Staff recommendations are as follows. Number 1, conduct a public hearing to present the final performance report for the 2022 CDBG project for the curb, gutter, and sidewalk improvements in Kettleman City. And number 2, authorize the Community Development Agency Director to sign and submit the documents required to close out the grant to the Department of Housing and Community Development. That concludes my presentation, unless there's any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions? This time we'll go ahead and open up public hearing. Do you have any written comments?
I have no written correspondence, no speaker cards, and no one online has their hand raised.
Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, we'll bring it back, close public hearing, bring it back to the board for direction.
Move is outlined.
Motion by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Thayer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Robert Thayer.
Yes.
5 in favor. Thank you very much. Very good. Now we're going to go on down to
Closed session.
closed session, and it's going to be outlined by council.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first item is Government Code Section 54956.9, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D of Section 54956.9 of the Government Code, 3 cases. Next item, Government Code Section 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, name of case, Prefab Innovations, Inc., v. Cornerstone Community Alcohol and Other Drug Recovery Systems, Inc. Next item, Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Appointment/Employment, Title Sheriff. Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Evaluation, Title County Administrative Officer. Government Code Section 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiators, Agency Designated Representatives, Kyria Martinez, Carolyn Lease, Che Johnson of Liebert Cassidy Whitmore. Employee organizations, the General Unit and Supervisors Unit, CLOSIA, Blue Collar SEIU, Detention Deputies, Firefighters, Deputy Sheriffs, Probation Officers, Prosecutors Associations, and Unrepresented Management. And I'll turn it back to the chair for any public comment.
Thank you. Any public comments? If so, you need to talk to council. And this meeting is adjourned, and we'll be back here on July 29th at 9 a.m. Thank you very much.
Mm.